Okay, so Tim Walz was in the View, and yeah, only from that sentence, you know that we're going to be pick cringe in so many ways. But we're going to be watching a couple clips. For example, he arriving to the set, which is this first clip. Maybe his body language, his body language was on point. He was not jumping. That is great. Okay. He was greeting someone on the top, maybe the one who is rigging the lights on top. He does his usual blessing gesture. I do it all the time in terms of emoji. You know, this emoji is one of my favorites. It's like my way of saying thank you. I think I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say. I think this is one of the few gestures of Tim Walz that I don't find cringe. I find okay-ish. Okay, but when he goes like all this, all crazy with the hands, that's when he gives the creepy touchdown vibes. Touchdown, you know why he was called that word. Not because of he was a coach. No, I'm not going to go there. You know that we need to keep this safe for certain audiences. The hand on chest. This is another thing I have to say about Tim's hand on chest. At least it's not the tragic hand of chest that Kamala does, that so many politicians do. So many celebrities do the hand here. He does a more natural hand on chest, and that's it. He begins with the jumpy behavior. Oh, right.
Can't there?
Maybe he wasn't on meds this time. But here comes the crazy stuff. Let's start with the crazy stuff, because you were waiting for this. You like this. You like me to go through all these clips, right? This is why you watch these lives. This is why you watch these videos. You want me to watch this and watch my reaction to whatever is going on. Yeah, I know. This is my life now.
Can't there be no gray area? And how would you convey to voters they may be concerned that there's a trust issue?
Yeah, I do think you have to be careful about this. If it's stating, in Hong Kong in August of 89, 35 years ago, I think people do separate that between a pathological liar like.
Okay, this is what I tell you. It's like you're trying to own or acknowledge what you did. They're asking what you did, and people have trust issues about so many lies. Or maybe I'm going to give Walz some kind of pass. Half lies, half truths, we could say, about what you have done with your life, not only where you were, posted the wars that you did or did not go to, where you were in your honeymoon and all that stuff. There's always this thing that how can we trust you by this point? And that was that question that she was asked on his own 60 minutes interview. That interview, I should review that one, by the way. I never watched that interview. But he wants to make some kind of comparison. And of course, who is that comparison
Donald
with?
Trump, they get it out there. But I do think it's important that we're careful about how we speak. It's something for me is, I think, being a teacher, being a coach, I just speak from my heart. I speak honestly.
Yeah. Two things here. Of course, you have to say, oh yeah, maybe I have misspoken in this past, but you have Donald Trump, who is a pathological liar. It's like, oh well, I just stole $10, but so many people on Wall Street stealing billions, and maybe, well, that example could be maybe from a moral standpoint, you can have some relativity to it. But you get my grift. I say something and try to immediately compare with someone else who did something bigger. In this case, Donald Trump says the biggest lies about this, and that is trying to evade the question. It's not acknowledge what you said. It's like when I have gone wrong in takes on topics, on predictions, I have said that. And of course, when I gone right, I said that as well. But then it comes I speak from the heart. I'm honest. You're right. It is your word. You are saying that you speak from the heart. It's like if we fact check what you said, then your heart is not in the best place that it could be, because yeah, you're not telling the truth. And that is confusing at first from some Democrats who will still be voting for Kamala. That causes a dissonance anyway.
Speak honestly, I speak in the moment. And in preparing for a debate, I told my team that I felt like I'm at a disadvantage in a debate because my tendency is to just answer the question that you're asked as quickly as you can.
Well, that is an excuse. That is just an excuse. Oh, I just want to answer question as I just misspoke because I just want to answer the question as quick as I can. Right? You need to be cognitively challenged to not realize that if you go too fast, if you precipitate to answer any questions during a debate, you're going to mess up big time. And you can say sound bites, like when he said that he was a friend with school shooters, that so many people said maybe he misspoke, and I agreed that in my analysis of the debate, I said, all right, maybe this was, he misspoke. You have to be extremely careful with your words. You have to take your time. You have to practice the frequency and your rhythm, because a sound bite can be so destroying. And you remember that he was asked about that sound bite 1 or 2 days after the debate, and his response was, well, not that satisfactory. He could have corrected, oh, I meant that, but he could have said, he says knobhead, knucklehead, hardhead, blockhead. I don't know what is the word that he uses for himself, but he could have gotten away with it because it could be a slip of the mind. But no, he has to attack Donald Trump. He has to set the record straight. I speak from the heart. I just try to answer too quick. That's an excuse. That's an excuse, Tim.
It's never what you do in a debate.
Never, that's right.
Even the View girl says, never, you don't do that on a debate.
They would say that. So, yeah, I think so. But I think the public sees this, just the massive amount of misinformation that gets poured out there. It is important to be detailed.
All right. So misinformation. Do you know that is a trendy word? We should have some kind of shirts that say the misinformation or something. This is a word that is tossed around so many times, and I found this very funny. He took a picture with not only the host of the View, but the audience as well. You see, of course, that they also use a teleprompter. It's normal when you have to present someone or you have to cut to ads. You need that help right there, so you don't have to think about that or remember your lines. Not to be. Tim Walz nationwide search to find somebody with lower T levels than him sadly did not end following his trip to the View. Oh my God, that was, that Not the Bee is not the Babylon Bee. This is for real. This is like being for real. And the next clip that we have of Tim Walz, this is a shorter one. It has to do with guns, so one of my favorite topics.
So you're out hunting pheasants.
Yep.
Is that enough to convince people there's a middle ground on this issue? Because right now, right-wingers are coming after you for how you handle your shotgun.
Yeah, it was a bit odd. And it's interesting that in the View themselves, they put one of the clips of him hunting pheasants. Let's say what was Tim's answer.
Well,
okay, that was interesting. That body language reaction, like, oh, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm really good at handling guns.
Well, I can shoot better than all of them.
I can shoot better than all of them. It would be nice. I would say this. You know that sometimes I play devil's advocate. It would be nice to see Walz at a shooting range, like actually shooting targets and more, or doing that like those 3-gun challenges. You have 3 guns. Like I think this one is with pistols, with a shotgun, and with the reloading stuff. I remember, but it's 3 guns. It would be nice to see him shooting, but that will dispel every rumor, right? Let us see how you shoot, how is your shooting, how you really handle guns. you have all the opportunity with the world. If do you need, yeah, you can just set that up. It's not like you have forgotten how to shoot a gun.
Well,
right?
I can shoot better than all of them. I got the trophies to prove it.
I have the trophies to prove it. I don't think that trophies. I can buy myself a trophy and engrave it with Jesus Enrique Rosas is the best shooter and like ever. I'm going to be succinct with this clip here. I want to show you. This is like an intermission. I wanted to show you how Donald Trump was received on The View some time ago. Like it was on the big screen, all this. So you see how things change over time. He was this big applause. All the ladies, of course, this was a long time ago. He was not running for anything back then. And he was so loved, so supported. I think we have captions on this. We don't have, okay. Even Whoopi said that she was thrilled. But this is something. Let's play one part. I want to play one of this part just to check his body language.
OPEC, which is, I mean, they're having a field day right now.
Oh, they're gonna say, for example, oh, he's touching her leg. Oh my God, what a pervert! What a pervert! He's touching her leg. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God, Donald, what are you doing? What are you doing? I would like to know what you think about this. By the way, what do you think? This is appropriate? You think this is appropriate? Maybe he knows her. Maybe they're close friends. This is something that we do in Latin America a lot. This is something that in Venezuela we do all the time. This is fair game in Venezuela. This is absolutely no big deal. That touch of the leg. But I don't know, in the United States, is that a thing? Oh my God! Oh my God! How this is so out of control. He was so out of control, but still, you see that all of them were listening attentively, and she was absolutely relaxed about it, not minded it. He was controlling the situation back then. Again, we were talking about Venezuela. This is not a big deal, but I would like to know what do you think in terms of the United States.
OPEC, which is, I mean, they're having a field day right now. How about the Arab League? They say, we want you to go in and attack Libya. Mm-hmm. These are the wealthiest countries in the world. Why aren't they paying us?
Okay,
so
then they changed their minds also. But you didn't answer my question.
No, I did answer your question.
Notice that she was also reaching out to him. She was like reciprocating to him. It was interesting. It was interesting in exchange, but he was there and they were fun. They were having fun with him. So that's how things change. That's how they get the memo and everything gets turned on its head. Now what is happening? Let's I'm going to torture you with a bit of whoopee.
And this, people keep trying to buy the election.
Yeah.
Billionaire Elon Musk has gone all in for you know who, and now he's giving out $1 million a day to people who sign his super PAC's petition.
What?
Now,
so yeah, that's what I was commenting a bit earlier.
I thought that was against the law, but apparently they've found some new loop stuff that allowed this to go. I thought you couldn't do this.
Yeah, but he's not, as I mentioned, he is not buying votes or anything. He said that, he was very explicit about that he didn't mind. He really didn't. Of course, he minds, but he knows that people are free to vote for whoever they want. But he has been very vocal. I have to say this. He has been very vocal on X that Donald Trump must win, like at all costs. He has been very vocal about that. But this has nothing to do with that attitude or that pushing for Donald Trump to win the presidential, to help Donald Trump win the presidential election.
Well, I think that's what you do when you have no plan for the public, when you have no economic plan that's going to benefit the middle class, when you have no plan to protect reproductive rights.
You know that it's funny when they act like Donald Trump has never been in office and doesn't have any economic records, and Kamala has been great with the economy, which we know that both things are completely the opposite of what has happened in real life. So it's impressive the way that they speak with a straight face, all this stuff, and without missing a bit. I can say. I would like to know how they do that. Maybe they have said that lie, had told the lie so many times that it's just automatic. Maybe that's what happens.
You have no plan to address climate change and produce American energy. You go to these type of tactics. It's all about
Aren't they?
He has a concept of a plan.
Yeah.
Aren't these tactics against the law, though? Aren't you?
Well,
Because
I'll let the lawyers decide, but it sure.
Yeah, it is a lawyer thing. I don't think that's going to go anywhere, especially because so many things are going on. But you know that they want to do anything that they can to make some kind of noise, some kind of challenge, some kind of interruption of what's going on. So distract from the fact that, at least from what we see in the polls, Donald Trump is absolutely demolishing Kamala Harris everywhere. And this is something that is happening because people are voting as soon as they can for Donald Trump, and the Democrats are entering literal desperate mode. This is a real thing. What is happening?
Look, I think
Giving water away to voters and lines against the law.
Isn't this the same thing?
No, because they're signing a petition, so you're technically not buying the vote. Frankly, there's nothing that can stop people from signing the petition, getting the $1 million, and then voting for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Yeah, she said that. And you see that Whoopi changed her body language. What are you saying, sister? Why are you defending Elon right now? This was not in the script.
do that. Do that.
But that is at least is actually helping Elon get less flack, maybe. Yeah, it's she said that herself. I don't know the names of any of those of these ladies. I apologize. I only know Whoopi Goldberg. I also apologize for going to see the movie The Burglar back in the day. I shouldn't have done that. Such a bad movie.
Make sure you're not putting yourself in a trick bag where they say, oh, by the way, you didn't read this little tiny print. Don't sign jack until you know what you're signing and how it's going to affect.
I think that even Tim is saying, this is not it. This is not it. It's like he's not nodding. He has that complete neutral expression. Like this is not what we should be talking about. But well, and the last clip we have of Tim Walz. I don't want to torture you much longer.
So we've got The View and a dad in plaid.
Dad in plaid and okay, this is he's not amused. He's not amused. He's like, what?
That's the single greatest thing I've ever got.
So that's for you to freshen up that wardrobe a little.
Okay, it's gonna be nice for him. It's gonna be fitting him good. But notice how what my point is. Like my point with this is showing not only the Tim Walz clip but also the Donald Trump clips, is that this is something that you can buy literally. But you tell these people, here's the script. Here's the script as a politician. And this is what this is the stance that you're going to have. This is the politician that you're going to defend. And usually they're going to defend the Democrats. But what happens with the Democratic Party is the same thing that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Decided to endorse and support Donald Trump. They have basically destroyed their credibility, and the only thing they got left is to make Donald Trump like the coming of the Antichrist. Something like that. That's all that they have. Fostering Trump, the derangement syndrome, voting against Donald Trump because Kamala Harris, well, she's not exactly popular, and but that's the thing. So I'm gonna tell you, just everything that you watch, including these lives, including these videos, take them with a grain of salt. Make sure to reach your own conclusions. I give you my opinions. I try not to be biased. Sometimes I can be a bit biased. Sometimes I can be completely satirical. I try to signal those moments, but again, make sure that you mind what you watch and what you listen to. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Friendly reminder to download my free body language tips right in the description of this video, and you will be subscribed to my email list as well.